In this video, we are going over how to impress football scouts. What's up, guys? It's Dave here from Simplysoccer, where we're helping you to improve your game and stand out on the pitch. Now, on this channel, we release daily soccer tip, technique, and training videos. So if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button and that bell icon so you don't miss any new videos or anything else that we release. So I want to go over 5 areas that are going to help you impress football scouts when they come to your matches. Now I want to start this off by saying you should never play in a different way when you're aware a scout is there, and you should never be playing just for when scouts are there. Ultimately, we want you to become more of a player like this permanently, so that if a scout happens to come to your match, you end up impressing them. So these are not just things that are going to help you impress soccer scouts if they come to your match. They're also going to be things that just improve your game in general. So one thing they're going to look for is, are you a team player? Are you a player with good work ethic that does everything they need to do in the attack and the defense? Or are you a player that's too selfish? And I say too selfish because a little bit of selfishness to a certain degree is okay. But are you a player that's playing for himself and for your own glory, or are you trying to do what's best for the team? Are you also willing to sacrifice for the team? Remember, if a scout's watching your game or a coach who's interested in bringing players into his team, if he sees you being selfish or someone who's going to sabotage the team or play for his own games and not the team's, that doesn't bode well for you, because they'll look at you and go, this person's not going to really fit into my team. They'll also see how your communication is with your teammates. For example, are you screaming at them, blaming them, yelling at them, or are you encouraging them? Are you helping them within the game? Are you guys supporting each other and helping each other perform better? Okay, number 2, and this next area is probably one of the most important on this list, not just for your game in general, but for impressing scouts as well, and it's mentality. Are you a confident player or someone who lacks it? Do you have belief in your ability every time you step on the pitch, and do you just look like a player who believes in their ability? Or are you someone who appears nervous and is afraid to take risks because you lack that confidence? They're going to look for whether you are a calm player under pressure, or just calm in general, or a player who feels rushed and a player that gets nervous in pressure situations. You know, a lot of players will get nervous in pressure situations, so when you find a player who doesn't, who relaxes, who continues to play their own game, who doesn't worry if someone pressures them because they know how to deal with it and doesn't panic, that is something that looks really good to coaches and scouts. The final thing I'll leave you under mentality, and I think this one is huge, is how do you deal with mistakes? Do you bounce back from mistakes, or do you beat yourself up, blame teammates, or things of that nature? Now, of course, you want to make as few mistakes as possible, but given the nature of football, you will make some at some time. A scout or a coach watching will look at you to see how you react when you make a mistake, or you make an error in judgment or something like that. Do you put your head down and let it affect you, or do you bounce back, get back to position, and get on with the next play? All right, so here's another big one, is do you stand out, or are you like every other player on the pitch? Let's face it, if a scout is watching your game or a coach is watching your game, they probably have plenty of solid players that can all do a decent job for them. And what I mean is, you know, a player who doesn't take risk, who plays safe, but they're going to be looking for more than that. They're going to be looking for something a little bit different. Are you a player who's dangerous? Are you a player who stands out? Are you a player who, if I came to the field and asked a parent or someone watching who's doing really well right now, would they point to you, or would they point to someone else? You have to really think, what separates you from the pack? Because if a scout's watching a game with no, individual player they're looking at, you need something that separates you from the pack in a positive way. Speaking of position, another thing they'll look for is how well you play your position. For example, are you continually getting out of position and that's hurting your team? Are you on the wing, but it looks like you just shouldn't be a winger and you're playing the wrong position? Are you playing in a position where you can hurt the opposition position or help out your team defensively. They're going to be looking at how well you play your position as well to how well you play in general. Okay, next one is the physical side. They're going to be looking for right away, are you fit or are you out of shape? And I'll tell you, if you are not in shape, that's going to be an immediate red flag for most scouts and coaches. Sure, you might be injured or something like that and coming back from that, but if that's not the case and you're out of shape, that's going to scream to the scout or coach that you don't have the discipline or the mentality to get in shape even during the season. Another thing they'll look for is your strength. And I don't mean how big you are. I mean, how well do you use your body? Do you get thrown off the ball easily, or do you hold your own? Do you get stuck in, or do you shy away from the tackle? No coach or scout's going to be impressed by a player who jumps over tackles, doesn't get stuck in, or just gets thrown off the ball and pushed off the ball easily. All right, and the final area, this one is so underrated, but they're going to look at how your decision making is and how good is your soccer IQ. How high is your soccer intelligence? Now, there's many different angles to this, but one thing they're going to look for is your tactical sense and your positional sense, meaning are you able to know where you need to be in different situations? Can you see what's unfolding in front of you and know what you need to be doing? Can you make the right decision in different scenarios and circumstances? For example, from a positional standpoint, are you someone who gets drawn out of position and then your opposition exploits that and hurts your team because of it? Or are you a player who knows where he needs to be in different moments? That's actually a huge thing, and if you have a high soccer IQ, which is sometimes rare in the game, scouts and coaches are going to see that, and that's going to be a huge plus for you. All right, guys, so those are just some ideas that are going to help you become a player that impresses scouts and coaches. Like I said earlier in the video, the idea here isn't to just play like this when you know scouts or coaches are watching your game. The idea is to become a player that has these attributes so you'll naturally just impress scouts and coaches if they happen to be at your game. All right, guys, so if I missed anything in this list or there are other things you think would impress scouts that you think should be included, let me know in the comments so I can look at them and so other players that are coming to this video can see them and apply them as well. Guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Please like it and share it if you enjoyed it, and make sure you subscribe to Simplysoccer if you enjoyed this video, as we release content all the time that's going to help you become a better player. Now, as always, I will have 2 videos come across the screen so you can continue learning, and if you haven't already, make sure you get my free ebook Game Changer. Again, absolutely free. Link to download that is in the description. Guys, thank you again for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one.